Welcome everyone to another episode of Cities Skylines, and it's Appletown, a new beginning, and we are all the way up to episode 7, and at the end of episode 6 we built Holly Park. So we're going to expand on that a bit today, and I have to say I really like the way Holly Park is looking so far. I'm not sure what I want from Holly Park completely. Alright, once again, let me get some specials over here. And that's police. And then fire. Alright, so that area there is developing. And in good shape there. I've got things paused. I'm just kind of taking a look. I do really like Holly Park. Let me get some policies going. Before I set policies, I have to decide. Maybe some people play the game and they just know, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and I am just much more seat of your pants. Play whatever comes to mind, and go from there. That is how I play the game, and that's what you're getting to experience is the way that I play this game. Something I messed up here. This guy is not symmetrical. And there's probably a way that you can measure that. But I think, and there's probably, if you do the curve tool, probably this. No, let's do the curve tool. 43. 45 and 90 is 135. 135 is too. 135 on this circle is too far. Okay. Do that. Now, you've got a little treat area here. I think I'm going to make this into a more of a park area and go around it with trails and have some nature trails come into it. I'll go ahead and do that now. I don't do a lot of that. Probably don't do as much as I would like to do. Let's see if we can make this trail not tear down too many trees and not be too just generic. So that's that, and then they can have some trails come off of here. Like I said, without tearing down too many trees in the process. I mean, I can always build more trees. Little nature paths that people can go on. And those are going to be for maybe for future expansion. Maybe hook up a bike trail goes around here. maybe have a bike trail here. I was trying not to tear down a house, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Oh, there you go. Got it. Could have gone to the next one, I'm sure. And like I said, these darn grid lines, road grid lines, are the bane of the existence of sanity in this game. I mean, I like road grid lines, don't get me wrong. They just tend to mess you up quite a bit. Alright, some bike paths. Maybe a few trees along the bike path. This seems like this should probably be a basically a residential little development, and it's not going to go anywhere, so it won't be a pass through for anything. And then we've got this little park here that we're going to probably do a district around, and we'll probably have some complementary development up here, and this over here is going to develop, but it can't be a pattern like this because of course we don't have the room around the road. I thought about a quay along here, but I have kind of decided against that. So, all right. So zoning. Do I want? Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some commercial along here. And I'm going to intentionally keep this as a 2-lane. And I may end up regretting doing this much up here, but all right, let's build some heavy-duty residential there, and this did not end the same way. It's not as consistent. It's got a little bit of an angle to it, it appears anyway. So we've got some high rises that will go there. And then I think I'm going to do high rise along the back side. I went ahead and sped this up, the zoning of Holly Park, doing a little bit of dense on the outside and then lighter residential on the inside areas. And I need to use that darn circular brush or paint or whatever it's considered instead of, or circular painter, I guess is, I don't know, maybe that's not what it's called, but I need to use that instead. So, all right, and then get some connectors here for the paths in the park. Make that a little bit more beautiful. And finally zone the rest of this as residential. It's a couple little gaps there, and there we go. All right, we're going to let the simulation run a little bit. Just got done developing Holly Park and making it a mixed low density and a little bit of high density, not a lot. Just kind of flanks the area. and a little bit of commercial down here that we can feed upon. I'm leaving this as a low density road, or just a 2-lane treed road, because I really want it to be truly just a simple path to get over to here, not a major path. So we're going to let Holly Park develop a little bit. I'm going to keep the simulation running, but we've got some worker bots appearing out here with these guys, and we're getting some abandoned buildings. There's not enough workers. Now, I don't know. I understand they need workers, but I don't always understand why, if you've got workers over here, I think I've read somewhere where as your Sims become more educated, and this kind of makes sense, they don't want farm jobs. So what do you do though? Because it's in a healthy society, you have all different levels of skills that people will to fulfill the jobs. So you need a good mix of different skill sets. And so anyway, I'm just going to oblige this a little bit and build a little bit of residential over here. And right along over here, and I think we will just make that an intersection. Let's do a straight out, and then a straight up this hill, and what we'll put in is a little high density residential. And let's check our water situation. Definitely need some water over here. Yeah, let's go a little further over just to get these guys in order. I feel like I drew that crooked, but I don't think I actually did. Get my crooked. Alright, so we've got this going. Let's speed that up a little bit. That'll help with some worker bots. And I'm going to expand the farm area just ever so slightly. And we're just going to turn these guys into a little bit more farm. A little squared off there. Now we'll see how this does on development. 41,102 people. That's good. We got to get to 44 to get another area. And then I'm going to have to decide what will we end up buying, and which piece of land. This piece of land down here would be really good to develop the valley. We have a lot of area in here to develop if we want to continue. I kind of want to develop around the lake, but I also kind of want to develop maybe by this square and maybe develop along this river. I don't know. The sky is the limit, and that's what I love about it. I am not a big planner. I kind of live by the seat of my pants. I'm going to rename this. We're going to rename this, and I think I'm going to just name this the Town Park. Napa Villages. No. We'll just call it Town Park. And this is Holly Park. And this is this can be a wildlife refuge area. And so we got some birds. We got to think about building an airport for our city too. That would bring in a bit of growth, and maybe look around and see where would an airport be able to be built. And maybe that's where we look at, or that's how we examine our next path here, because an airport needs to be on pretty flat land. You could do an airport right here. Let's take a look here. See if this is. Oh, well, we got to get 65,000 people. Wow. We cannot do an airport yet. So we're going to not think about that a lot. All right. I think my transportation is going okay, 734. We've got a nice number of riders. The one going to the south here, well, that's a pretty short route. There's 17 stops, only 14 vehicles, but a 49% rate. Car trips saved. That's decent. So we can examine bus route. Let's take a bus route. Let's take a bus, and we're going to call this bus 301. And you know, I'll sit sometimes and number all of my buses. Okay, so let's take a look at the line details. Yeah, we've got a really busy spot there and a hugely busy spot there. So 917 people are waiting in this area. Wow, that is crazy, crazy. 492, 92, 92, 366. So a lot of people up here. So by the time it gets to this 900, can't really do a whole lot. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go up to 111% just to get a couple more buses. Now that is not going to touch. That might reduce this count by 30. With two buses, you know, you get 60 for a bus, but I mean, excuse me, 30 for a bus, so two buses would be 60 more passengers on the whole route. That doesn't mean that every stop is going to go down by 30, of course, because they have to make the whole route. So that might give rise to thinking about a little interconnected bus route on the north side of town here, where it just connects here and goes over here. We'd have to see where everybody's going in that particular area. So if we take a look, we have Holly Park. I think I want to develop this area down here. So I'm going to go in silent mode for a little bit and start to work on that and let this develop a little bit and try not to ignore too much. Maybe what we'll do down here, here's the idea. We're going to start answering that demand for the more skilled workers. Do some offices. This whole internal area is going to be a little office park. And then let's flank it by some commercial. Now the danger here is we've increased our commercial quite a bit, and what that means is this traffic on this road is going to increase greatly. That's going to take care of some of that demand. So I'll go ahead and make this a little community, and I didn't give this guy. Alright, so what we've accomplished thus far is we built a few residences over here, and we've gotten rid of some worker bots. Yeah, we've gotten rid of some worker bots. This still isn't developing, and I don't know if it needs power. It might need power, so I'll just go ahead and do power to it. And do just a little corner store type thing here. Yeah, you get the corner store right there at that intersection. Remember, I want to keep this as being, kind of the sleepy little town area. And not have it get a heavy traffic flow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to accomplish that. We have done the villages, Town Park, Holly Park, Autumn Square. Autumn Square, we didn't specialize. We can specialize. I think small business enthusiast, but I think that we will do that. Like I said, we'll do the specialization. I'm messing up here. Let's go ahead and make this a tourism specialization. Now, the thing we have to be concerned with is people coming into town. They want to get to a specialized area, and this is going to start rebuilding. They have to have a way to get there, so we'll see what that does to traffic. Alright. Offline, I did a little bit of terrain modification to smooth out this section for future development. And what I want to do on that note is I want to not tear down electricity going that way. I do want to build a road. That's a bit of a hill. That we'll have to do. Okay. Now what we're going to find probably with this little cut through like that, we will probably find that things will start happening, because we're talking about, we just put in a 6-lane road that connects over here. So we will definitely have some traffic flow over there. Alright, and that is that. Offline, I put in a couple parking lots and a little bit of commercial here. And I think commercial is kind of dying down in demand, but I'm going to go ahead and put in that as far as commercial buildings. Now we probably don't at this point need that much. Didn't really think about this, but we could do I'm going to go ahead and do an exit ramp, which may not be the best idea, but do a little exit ramp there. Now, this truck immediately hopped on that. Okay, so he has to deliver up here to somebody in this arena. So okay. Policies. I did not set any policies. We'll go ahead and do universal recycling. And we'll give a tax relief for low density residential. And we will give high-tech housing a boost, and let's take a heavy traffic ban but encourage biking. And notice that my area is just missing these guys over here. You know, I didn't do this, but I think I will beautify this road. Darn, it tears down buildings sometimes when you beautify. You have the same size road, it never makes any sense to me why it does that. We've got some pretty tall buildings here. Of course, you know, 12 workers and 2 are overeducated. So, something we haven't looked at in a little while. Let's take a look at our education. Look at that. Wow. Elementary school availability is shockingly bad. So we will build a elementary school, my dear Watson. Look at that. That is terrible. Why? Okay. Okay, so this is good. Now, it's going to get us 300 more. Why? Okay. So we don't have any over here either for the rich kids that are going to be living along here. So we'll just go ahead and put a guy right there, elementary. So that brings us up to 3,600. All right, so there's that. That's probably fine. And we have about a 2,000 deficit on the high school. Now, high schools are so darn big in the European model here. It's just the weirdest thing. I mean, they just take up a tremendous footprint, and we're getting a warning that the city needs more water. Okay, so we're going to take care of our sewer issue there. And back to taking care of business. We've got a high school shortage. And I tell you, man, when they have you build a high school, they really have you build a high school. So we're going to go ahead and make a high school out here. I'm going to try to be a little bit smarter about it. You know what? I'm sorry, I'm going to take that back. It's right up the road there, right up the road. Okay. High school it is. And this is barely going to meet demand. That's going to put us at 8,000. Let's take a look at university demand. Okay, so we still got plenty of capacity in university. This guy needs water. And he probably has electricity, he does. So he's going to be fine. And then, but that's going to go to 8,000. And we definitely have a lot of high schools. I mean, there's a high school here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess we'll just plop a high school right here. So Briarwood Square will have a high school right in their little area. And I will probably make this into a residential area back here. As far as demand goes, 43,988. Look at that. We are going to hit a milestone. Colossal City, 44,000. Let's see what we get for that. We get a floating cafe. That might not be possible. We get a cargo harbor, which maybe the big lake over there if we get it. And we get a nuclear power plant if we want it. So, and a new area, of course. I think I already said that. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this little area down here. So that just had a little bit of a connector there, and I can probably think about getting rid of that. Let's do, as far as redundancy goes, we'll just go right up the side of the highway to connect that. And then that connects there, and this connects up here. We'll just do a little bit there too. All right, we'll just keep developing, zoning this area over here, making a few improvements. Not real symmetrical, kind of random over here. That's what I do. There is plenty of development that has taken place over here. And as residential goes up, we have to kind of decide, what are we going to do with this? Is this going to be high density or low density? And I think what we'll do is we'll put in a block of high density, and then at the end have a couple more of the high. But then let's sprinkle, let's keep low in here. And we'll keep these other areas to low. Across the street we'll do low. And this will be low and low. We've got some demand for commercial, so we might as well try to fulfill it. So this area out here is the up and coming area. The villages out here, and got a little bit of water shortage going on right there. Now, what I will probably do is I want to develop this area. And I kind of want to do, I don't really want to make this a particularly high my vision is not to make this a highly dense populated area. Let me go back and look at this, sorry. Yeah, we still have some lacking in this area. Are you telling me we never put in an elementary school out here? Oh my gosh. It's just crazy to think about. I thought for sure we put education out here. Okay. Now this road, let's take a look at traffic. We're running a little short on time here, but we definitely have a lot of traffic coming over to the Brook Park. And this is definitely a fairly heavy traveled road, so we may be forced here to upgrade this road. I really don't want to. I could make this little section here a highway, but all right. So what I've begun here is, yes, it's a it is another new area that we're going to develop, and that access is going to be limited, and we're not going to do treed roads the whole way here. And this is the beginning of that, let's get a path. That connects that path up there. And then we can run this path over to there. So now, the issue here will be obviously access, but we can now start developing this area. Now see, I really don't want to have a metropolis. I never know, like I said before, I don't really ever know what I'm going to do with these cities when I venture out to create them. I just kind of play and see where my mind takes me. It's more of a stream of consciousness, I think. But now we have this little community back here that can, now we've got more demand. We're building a second area out here for water. That, my friends, is going to be another wrap on an episode. I thank you for watching and leave some comments. We don't know where we're going exactly with the city, but I'll reveal some new plans in the next episode, episode 8, and we'll continue building away this Appletown, a new beginning. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll be talking to you soon.